What's up, everyone? Welcome to Now, Next, Never. I'm Nicole Casperson, and with me are my co-hosts, Alana Sapparo and Zaid Admani. What is up, guys? How is it going? It's not Friday yet, right?
Feels like it, or like I wish it was. God, it's been a long week.
I know. Probably because we're not at Bitcoin 2022.
I know.
Anyways, we might be talking about it a little.
We will be actually, yeah. But let me tee up a couple stories we have before we're talking Bitcoin. We're going to be talking Uber wants to become the Amazon of travel, and their latest move in the UK could set them up. Uber becoming the Amazon of travel. That's funny. And then why are companies trying to buy Spirit Airlines? JetBlue and Frontier Airlines are in a bidding war that is making stockholders feel as comfortable as taking a flight on Spirit. Delano.
Bidding war. And last but not least, folks, we have producer Danny checking in from the Bitcoin Miami conference. He's going to let us know if he's staying out of trouble and what is going on down in South Beach. So stick with us and make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know every time we're going live. We're going to get into it right now.
Can Uber be the Amazon of transportation? That is the big question. Uber is adding planes, trains, hotels, buses, and rental cars to its app in the UK, that's a lot, as part of its quest to become a one-stop shop for travel. Uber, which is pushing to sustain a profit, will sell the tickets through partnerships with other vendors. The UK is one of the company's largest markets outside of the US, so this expansion is a huge step. But the super app strategy isn't something that's necessarily new. Their CEO has said for a while that he wanted Uber to be the Amazon of transportation when he first joined the company. So it seems like a no-brainer for the app. Just last week or so, we were talking about how Uber is teaming up with Yellow Cabs to expand their fleet of vehicles and drivers because they're, kind of feeling a little bit of a sting, if you will, on kind of what's going on with their business model. So. Yeah. Can Uber pull this off? I mean, it seems like a win-win across the board. And if something, doesn't turn out, maybe it doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, I think they can pull it off, and I think they definitely need it to, as you mentioned, sustain profitability. They have, if you look at their financials, 118 million monthly platform consumers is what they call it, the MAPC, as of Q3 2020 or Q4 2021. So if you're looking at that, you have all these users. What else can you sell to these users? Obviously, they've expanded with it. They're going the taxi route. Obviously, they're expanding with this new travel options. They did Uber Eats, obviously, as well. So I think they're really trying to see how can we squeeze out more profitability from each user and partner with other platforms to bring more users to our actual ecosystem. So I think they need to do this. They should do this. Will it help them long term? We'll see. But as far as the business standpoint, this makes the most sense to me right now, Zay, for Uber to do this.
Yeah, I mean, they got nothing to lose by trying this, right? Like there is very little downside for them to try this. And I just thought of this. I know we were supposed to talk about it earlier, but I just thought of this. Like being the Amazon of Uber, like what if they get all this stuff under one house, right? Like you said, Nicole, they're doing the trains, the bikes, the cars, the hotels, and all that stuff. What if they have like a Amazon Prime type service one day? I mean, I know they have like the Uber One thing, but like, what if they had like a really awesome Uber Prime, Uber type service where you pay like a yearly fee and you get great discounts on all these transportation options? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. I just thought of that, honestly. And yeah, I mean, they have 118 million users. They're on pretty much everyone's phone. Like my parents have it on their phone, right? We're not taking Ubers all the time here in Houston, but they have it on their phone in case they ever want to use Uber. Their Uber Eats platform is turning into a pretty good business. And they need this, right? They need this. Their profits, they've never had a profitable quarter or a profitable year except for once. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, can you think about that? They never had it except for one time. And the reason they had it that time in 2018 was because they sold equity in another stake of a company. I think it was either in China or Russia. Yeah. So they need to keep trying things because just being a ride-sharing company is not going to cut it. It's not a sustainable business long-term. And I think this is a very, very smart move. The CEO who was the previous CEO of Expedia, was it?
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense for him to do this now. So I think this is a smart move, and I think it's going to work.
I'd be down for it to all consolidate into one app. I mean, that's awesome, especially if they can do things like cut deals, or like even get like hotel.com involved, or who knows, like get all these different vendors involved. And now I'm only going to one app as a like for that user experience. That is huge. Yeah, I can like get my ticket, book my hotel, take my Uber ride from the airport to my hotel, then order the pizza at night that I want to have before I go to bed once I get to my hotel. Seems, like I said, no brainer.
Yeah, totally. I love it. I love it. I love it. Speaking of transportation, guys, I never thought I'd be saying this, but this is real. JetBlue and Frontier Airlines are fighting to buy Spirit. Did you ever thought this was possible? Did you ever thought this headline was possible?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. But let me give you guys some of the details. So JetBlue is offering $3.6 billion all cash deal to buy Spirit, and the question is why? Because I'm honestly not sure. Like these airlines could not be further apart, right? JetBlue having this like pretty great reputation, right, of like providing good service, also offering pretty good deals. Spirit having this like they're unapologetic about it. Oh, that was a great meme. They're unapologetic about it. Like they're a value budget airline. You want to get from point A to point B. You might be standing the entire time. We're not going to give you any food or water, but we're going to get you there on a very, very cheap flight. That's what they're there for. And honestly, I took in a bunch of Spirit Airlines flights when I was in my 20s. I don't regret them one bit. I love my $39 flights to Vegas.
Zayd, you're the literal only person I've ever heard say that in my life.
When you're in your 20s and you need to get to Vegas to get to a bachelor party, I couldn't drop money for that's what I'm saying. Like 39
Zayd was
bucks.
fine. He was fine paying like $10 just to like buckle your seatbelt. That's like the horror stories I hear about Spirit. I've never touched it for this.
I don't touch it anymore. I've graduated out of that, but no, it came in clutch plenty of times. And what's crazy is I mentioned earlier, Frontier is also offered to buy them back in February. They made a $2.9 billion offer. And Frontier, guys, I've also flown Frontier for a trip to Denver. It is also very, very similar. They have very similar vibes, Spirit and Frontier. They could be cousins, honestly. They're just very budget friendly, cheap, and you got to pay to like buckle your seatbelt, like Nicole said. So like, why is JetBlue doing this? I mean, I honestly, like, I want to get y'all's take. I think they might be trying to compete with the big four airlines that we have.
For sure.
But like, what else reason could there be?
Yeah, Zay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, why? I was looking at it, like, why would they do this? But you just kind of mentioned it. Think of the barriers to entry. Think of someone trying to start an airline right now. How would you even do that? How would you have the resource to do it? Now think about trying to get that extra consumer. You just mentioned the tiers of brands right now. Everyone's kind of sticks to their brand in the airline industry. So how do you get that extra consumer, customer? Of course, you have to buy. You have to go out and expand into different areas pretty much by buying another airline and consolidating. That's like literally the only way, or one of the few ways you could possibly expand or grow in this industry. So I think that's what JetBlue and Frontier realized. You're still dealing with an industry that's been hurt hard by the pandemic, right? Travel levels haven't fully rebounded from 2019. So they're in a lot of headwinds for these airlines. And the only way you can expand this industry is to buy, Nicole. And I think that was the reason that I came to on why they would actually try to buy a airline brand that's like totally different from what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. This reminds me, like, has anyone ever seen the movie Soul Plane with like Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Anyway, that, Delano, is how you buy or start your own airline. We won't get into those details. Folks, look it up. Funny movie. But anyway, I do think that JetBlue wanting to pick up Spirit makes actually a ton of sense from a branding standpoint and from an expansion standpoint. So JetBlue is a vibey airline, right? They have like cool lights in there. I have taken JetBlue flights, and it is considered a bit more affordable. But they don't have the same reach or kind of clout as an American Airlines, as United, as Delta. For example, JetBlue carries more than 42 million customers a year, according to JetBlue. That's what they say. But American Airlines carries more than 200 million. So there's definitely, a big gap there. So maybe JetBlue could expand its business further with a Spirit pickup. I would rather see a brand that I like pick up a not so great brand, a budget, what's it called? Like a budget.
Yeah, budget airline. We can't use the actual word that we're thinking.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking of another word, but anyways, won't say that live. But I'd rather see that than have like a brand that I think is not good pick up another brand I don't think is good and them coming together. So this, as a consumer, makes me like, oh, okay, dope. I can forget about Spirit one day, and I get it. JetBlue's just trying to like expand their business a little bit. Pick up the little guy.
I'll wrap with this. So the JetBlue CEO actually said this. He even said himself that we can all agree that Spirit has a very different brand and product than JetBlue. This man actually said that, the CEO of Spirit.
See?
So he's even like, yeah, you guys are probably kind of confused by this, but he thinks that they can make it work. Obviously, the shareholders don't. JetBlue stock is down more than 10% since this announcement. I personally, I kind of want Frontier to merge with Spirit. I think that they have a lot more synergies, to kind of use a businessy term, but we'll see what happens. And lastly, the government approval of this merger, we don't know if that's going to happen. There's a lot of, obviously there's antitrust sentiments here, so we'll see if they even approve this at all.
Yeah, we shall see. Well, you know what's happening right now in Miami Beach? Tens of thousands have come together to talk about the present and the future of Bitcoin. They are billing it as one of the biggest crypto conferences ever. Rarely do we ever see a convergence of investors, CEOs, miners, technologists, and celebrities. But at Bitcoin 2022, it's super normal. I have no FOMO whatsoever. For more on what's going on, though, in case you do have some FOMO, at South Beach, our eToro friends Danny Vega and Chad Remy have the latest. Let's check it out.
I'm Danny Vega.
And I'm Chad Remy.
And we're here to tell you about the craziest crypto conference ever.
Bitcoin 2022.
Let's go!
Follow along.
The Expo Hall is a sight to behold. Let's start with the Bitcoin Bazaar.
Or should we say bizarre?
Chad.
It lives up to its name.
Guy Fawkes, Michael Jordan memorabilia, and even
The Bitcoin white paper t-shirt.
the price for real is $69.42.
And for real, I'm considering buying the swim trunks.
Nobody cares, Chad.
Well, I do. I care. Don't miss the moon and Bitcoin Beach.
For many Bitcoiners, this beach will be the closest they've ever come to going outside.
Not me, though. I'm getting my new swim trunks and hitting the beach right after this.
Chad,
What?
Bitcoin 2022 boasts a ridiculous speaker list, including Kathy Wood, Michael Saylor, Serena Williams.
And special music guests like Logic, Deadmau5, and CL.
Plus, there's a giant volcano.
But I'll be at the beach.
Chad,
Beach boy. Oops. And let's wrap up talking about crypto's creative side, the art gallery.
Satoshi, cats, and even the honey badger of money.
And what many people dealing with inflation will understand, print art, not money.
And would it even be a crypto conference without a Shiba Inu?
I forgot sunscreen. And finally, come visit us at the eToro booth.
And unlike a recent comedy disaster film with J-Law and Leo DiCaprio, do look up.
Wait, this Bitcoin stuff is actually pretty cool.
I can't.
What did I say?
Oh my God, poor Chad. That was amazing, and I was sarcastic about FOMO earlier, and now I definitely feel it. So
Oh,
thanks.
dude, for sure. All that
Thanks,
was
Danny.
left was they need like the Will Smith Welcome to Miami
Yes.
theme going,
Yeah.
something like that. That's all. That's the only thing that was missing.
Oh man, well that looks like a ton of fun, and yeah, I look forward to, I guess, seeing more things that make me wish I would have been there.
Exactly. I'm sure the weather is great down there. And speaking of the Bitcoin Miami conference, Kevin O'Leary was there, and he said Bitcoin will save the earth, but will sustainable energy save Bitcoin? So Shark Tank's notable investor, Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, spoke at the Bitcoin 2020 conference, and he noted that because many Bitcoin miners are looking for sustainable energy sources, the demand for nuclear and hydroelectric power will spur further innovation and sustainable energy adoption. Guys, I think that there's already a push for sustainable energy, and it's being driven by a lot of different factors and not just obviously Bitcoin miners. So I don't think it's that factor that's really going to do anything. I do think that, there's a lot of smart people working on problems in the Bitcoin space, in the cryptocurrency space, and blockchain technology space overall. But what do you guys think? Will Bitcoin save the earth? Will sustainable energy save Bitcoin? Nicole, I'll go with you first. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I definitely think it's more of a sustainable energy will save Bitcoin and not necessarily the other way around, at least right now. And I think that there are platforms, organizations that are working on making this better, the environmental impact and relationship with Bitcoin and crypto assets. But this is definitely a big barrier to entry for some folks and accepting a future with Bitcoin. So it has to be solved. It's in terms of Mr. Wonderful, at one point he did call Bitcoin garbage on CNBC in 2019. Fast forward to last fall, when I met him, honestly, he's a great dude. He's bullish on Bitcoin, allocating what he said at the time, 7% in his portfolio. Today, Kevin O'Leary told CNBC, well, not today. In this year, he has told CNBC that 20% of his portfolio is in crypto and blockchain investments. So we'll see. It's hard to tell, right? Like, he's obviously bullish on this. Of course, he's going to say things like, this is going to save the earth. He's obviously a notable investor and business figure, but we just have to see. I still think that there's so much work to be done on the messaging as well, and just getting more people to see that there are people working to make this more sustainable.
Yeah.
Guys, are we sure he's just not like a hype chaser, just saying whatever is like hot in the streets just to kind of like get invited to these conferences so he can
does
like,
love his YouTube.
He is a shark.
That's what I'm saying. He's just trying to like bag that check and kind of like, get an audience. And he realized that Bitcoin was like cool and making fun of Bitcoin wasn't cool anymore. So he's like, oh, let me just like say that I'm a Bitcoin guy now and I'll get invited to these. I am hating on him. Look, I'm trying to connect the dots here, right? So he's saying that Bitcoin miners Bitcoin mining is gonna help bring on more sustainable energy. Look, I hope that happens, but I hope it's not just because of Bitcoin mining. I think we need to have investments in renewable energy, like for other reasons as well. And I think Bitcoin miners are gonna go wherever there's cheap energy. I don't think they're gonna care that it's coming from sustainable sources or not, because the only way Bitcoin miners make a profit, the only way Bitcoin mining is a legitimate business is if they have cheap sources of sustainable energy.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time connecting the dots. I don't know. I don't get it. And again, Mr. Wonderful, he knows how to play the media now. He's really good at it. So I just wonder if like Bitcoin just stops becoming cool anymore, if he just kind of drops the whole shtick here. I don't know.
I don't think it'll ever stop becoming cool, Zaid and Nicole, but
I agree.
Oh man. Okay, well, we'll see how it plays out. Let's head into Now Next Never. Six, so happening right now, eToro announced today its first step into the world of NFTs with the launch of eTORO.Art, a new program to support NFT creators, agencies, and brands. The $20 million fund will be used to purchase blue chip NFTs as well as seed emerging creators and NFT projects. So congratulations, eToro. Sounds like an awesome endeavor.
Yeah, that is awesome. Love it. Speaking of another buzzword, from NFTs to Metaverse, Legos. Legos is partnering with Epic to build a Metaverse for kids. Now, guys, I have a 3-year-old. I don't really know how I feel about like her hanging out in the Metaverse. It's kind of weird to me, but I don't know. It just seems like a buzzword kind of thing right now, especially with this announcement. I think it's just like a game. Like, it's just a game. I think we're just calling online games metaverses now.
Yeah, I guess because it's in an Oculus, like, and you get the VR experience. I mean, Legoland is already cool on its own. I mean, I haven't been since I was a kid. I imagine it's still cool. But to put it in a metaverse version, that's awesome. Hey, maybe it saves parents from having to travel to a Legoland, right? Or buying a ticket or that kind of thing.
I can see the appeal. I think the branding of it is very buzzwordy for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Zaid. Well, speaking of kids and teens, guys, we're never wearing American Eagle again, are we? Because the Piper Sandler annual teen survey just came out, and there were a few surprises. The top apparel and fashion brand was Nike, but number 2 was American Eagle, which I thought was no longer in existence.
Is that a typo?
Yeah, I didn't know they were still around, but apparently they are, and teens are still liking the brand. I thought when I was younger, I remember it was American Eagle, it was Abercrombie, right? And I wore throwback jerseys, guys. I was a throwback jersey person, switching it up every so often, Zaid. Like, I don't know if you had a throwback jersey phase, Zaid or Nicole, but that was my high school days.
Throwing a little bit of Express in there, though. I was all about American Eagle, Express, like all those brands that you look back now, it's like, it's kind of cringy, but I'm surprised American Eagle is still hanging in.
Zaid, I think you said I wish we could roll the clip of you saying just the other day that you still shop at Express.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Look, they're nice fitted shirts, okay? And Steph Curry wears them too. So just,
no
you
shade.
know.
No shade.
I'm with you.
No
We
shade.
have to-
Anyways.
I want to talk about this real quick because it's on the thing. Favorite celebrities by teens. Kanye's on the list.
I was shocked by
Yeah.
that too, Zayn. I
Yup,
can't
that's-
believe. Also, The Rock. I'm actually a little shocked about The Rock too, because he's kind of like. I'm actually shocked by all of these. Ryan. Okay, it says Ryan Reynolds, Zendaya, Kanye, and The Rock.
Yeah.
Zendaya, obviously.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Ryan Reynolds, okay, you know, he's been like keeping
Yeah,
up with
makes
the
sense.
times. But Kanye and The Rock, really shocked.
The Rock makes sense too because
The
he's just
Rock
like
makes
huge
sense.
on Instagram. But
Social
Kanye?
media. Yeah, social
Kanye?
media beast.
Kanye? All right, we're not sure about that one, kids. Anyways, that does it for our show today. We're gonna noodle over that Kanye aspect apparently. But thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of the things. Hit that notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Happy Thursday.
We out.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow.